Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is Razovy and welcome to another Top 10 Hidden Anime video. Today, as the title says, we're going to talk about another Hidden Gems collection that I made regarding certain anime that you most likely don't know. If you do know them, well, awesome. Make sure to tell me in the comment section down below if you knew all of them. And also, do me a favor, make sure to tell me about the ones that you didn't know. Now, we're going to start off today with Beelzebub. Now, I love the manga. I also watched the anime. This is incorrect. I watched all of the episodes, not 34. I watched 60 of them. I guess I just didn't update it. But I own the manga, and the manga is so much fun. It's so funny. Also here, I watched. I read more than 2 chapters. The manga is so much fun, really. And basically, we follow a guy called Tatsumi Oga, and he is a delinquent. Everyone fears this guy. And everyone is afraid of this guy. He is strong. He will destroy you if you just look at him. And someday, he's walking down the river, and he sees a baby floating in the river. This baby right here, called Beelzebub. Of course, at the time he doesn't know his name yet, but called Beelzebub. He saves this baby. And when he saves this baby, all of a sudden this girl or woman, whatever, Hildegard, she's 16, she eventually jumps through his window and tells him to give the baby back to her because she's supposed to take care of the baby. But this baby actually is very much interested in staying with Tatsumi, which is weird because most of the times babies and just everyone in general is afraid of Tatsumi, yet in this case, this baby loves Tatsumi. He likes the fact that Tatsumi is so scary. Again, sounds weird. Trust me, there's a reason to this. He likes the fact that Tatsumi is so scary. So Hildegard is not able, Hilda, that's how they call her, she's not able to take back the baby. It turns out that this baby is actually the son of the Devil King himself. So basically, he's the son of the devil. And the reason that this son of the devil likes Tatsumi so much is, of course, because Tatsumi is evil, right? Right? He is considered to be evil. So, this baby being the son of the devil kind of likes the idea of being brought up by a demon himself, right? So now Hilda and Tatsumi are going to raise this baby. That is the basic premise of this story. Now there are a lot of weird and funny characters in this anime called Beelzebub. The anime covers a large chunk of the manga. It doesn't cover all of it, but it covers a lot. And it is funny. There's a lot of action. It is just good fun all around, basically. I won't talk about all of the different characters because we have more anime to discuss, but this one is... I wanted to start with this one because if you were going to click off the video after just watching one anime, I wanted it to be this one. Definitely watch Beelzebub or read Beelzebub. So much fun, really. Such a crazy fun story. Then we have one that really defined my childhood. Now, I think I'm a little older than most people watching my videos, so I don't think most of you know this. It's called Medaroto, but in the West, we know this as Metabots. And my god, I loved this anime so much. At the time, I didn't know it was an anime. I was a kid at the time, so I had no clue. I just thought it was a cartoon, which it is, but it's a Japanese cartoon, of course, so we call it anime. It's basically about a guy called Iki. And Iki lives in a world in Japan, in the future, basically, where there are robots, and these robots are sentient, right? They act like humans. And these robots are used most of the times, not always, but most of the times, to fight each other. Right, kind of like a Pokemon type of thing, and he doesn't have a Metabot. That's what they call them, Metabots. He doesn't have one, and he's the only one that doesn't have one. So he kind of feels left out. Eventually, he's able to he saves up a lot of money, and he's able to go buy his first Metabot. It's an old one, a very old model, which looks like this, very old model, and but he doesn't have a medal, and the medal is what gives the Metabot, its brain. So he doesn't have a medal, and eventually he finds a medal in the river, and it turns out to be a very special medal, an incredibly special medal. He puts it in the Metabot, And this Metabot, which he dubs Metabee, is actually very, very strong. Like the metal is very strong, right? It has special powers or something. Metabee and Ikki at first don't really see eye to eye, but slowly but steadily they become friends, and they fight other Metabots. And look, this is not, how should I put it? This anime might not blow your mind like certain anime, like for example, I don't know, Code Geass, Death Note, Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. Like, I'm fully aware that this is not going to be that type of anime. But besides nostalgic reasons, this is very, very fun. It's a very fun story that unfortunately a lot of you younger folks, if I can say that now, I sound really old right now, haven't watched yet. So Metabots has 2 seasons, so there's plenty for you to watch. The second season is just as good as the first season, which is quite special in my opinion. It doesn't happen often. And just in general, Metabots is a ton of fun. I really feel like anyone should at least have taken a look at it. And if you don't like it, but at least give it a try. Then we go to Kekai Sensen, and this is one that I, honest to God, do not understand why no one talks about this one. This has classic hidden gem written all over it, and no one cares. And that's a shame. Kekai Sensen is basically, we live in a world, in the United States, by the way. This is taking place in the United States, in New York. So watching this dubbed actually makes sense, watching this dubbed in English. And we follow Leonardo Watch, short, like most people just call him Leo. And Leo lives in New York, and New York basically, it's not taken over by, but there's a lot of immigration from other worlds. So it's still New York, but there are a lot of weird creatures roaming New York. Aliens and other worlders, and a very interesting concept. And Leo has to, survive in this odd and weird climate. Now, eventually he has this special ability. I won't spoil how he gets it. That would be major spoiler territory. But he has a special ability. He's able to see certain things that other people are not, and he is therefore recruited by a secret organization that fights off basically the evil folk from the other world. That's all I can say. Otherwise, I'm really spoiling a lot. Klaus von Reinherz, which is a German name, of course, he is the leader of this group, and they call this group is called Libra, by the way. And the characters are wonderful. For real, I don't get why people don't talk about this. I honestly, God, don't understand it. It's so good, yet no one talks about it. From everything that I'm going to recommend, this is one of the, this should be either your priority or or one of the priorities. The only one that I would recommend even more is this one, Gangsta. Now, the OG Razovy fans, the ones that have been subscribed for years, they know that I love this one. But I think the newer folk, and I recently gained a lot of new subscribers, so I think a lot of the new ones don't know this yet, but I love this anime, and I've recommended this anime a lot in the past. We basically follow 3 people. At first we follow 2, Warwick and Nicholas. Warwick and Nicholas, what they do is they are basically guns for hire, sort of. They are mercenaries. They do the dirty work in a city that is based on, I guess, Southern European, so kind of like Italian, maybe Spanish type of city, right? And these two just do the dirty work. Now, something that I think is kind of cool and that we don't see a lot is that Nicholas is deaf. Now, that in and of itself is not cool. That sucks for him, of course, but he's deaf. And he, of course, uses sign language because he can't hear anything. And this is portrayed very well because Nicholas is not some sort of helpless person. This guy kicks ass, major ass, even more than Warwick. Yet he is deaf. And I think that's so cool. Like, it's a small touch to his character, but it's so cool. It's kind of hard to explain. You need to see that for yourself, but it's very cool. It's portrayed incredibly well. No one focuses on this either. It's not like whenever people meet him, like, oh, I feel so bad for you that you're deaf. Oh my God, it's not fleshed out at all. He's deaf. It's a character quirk. That's it. No one cares. He doesn't care. Other people don't care. He's deaf. He uses sign language. That's it. It's so cool. This is how, in my opinion, this is how any disability should be treated in media. It's so much more relaxed than how we do it nowadays. But that's not the point of this video. Anyway, so these two, right, they are guns for hire. Eventually, they meet Alex. And Alex is, I cannot say that on YouTube. I think I would get a community guideline strike if I would. But she offers services, physical services for money. That's all I can say. I hope you understand what I mean. And because she has no money, so she has to do something. And eventually, one of her customers assaults her, and Nicholas saves her. So now she decides to work for them, not as providing those services, but as I believe what does she do? I believe she makes it. She's a secretary or something. I believe that's what she's going to do, secretary. So these three are now going to work together and do try to make money, right? It's a very adult story. It's very cool. I'm kind of lost for words, and the reason that I'm lost for words is this anime is just for adults. Like, people always say, oh, it's cartoons, that's for kids. Watch this anime. You won't think that anymore. Just watch this anime. And that whole shtick of cartoons are for anime is bullshit. Then we go to one that I think a lot of people are a little bit confused by, but I'm going to put it on the list. Hear me out. The premise is weird. You're going to think I'm weird, but trust me, I actually think you're going to like this. Trust me on this one. It's called Ketcho. Now, for the people that already know this one, some people might now think, really? Would you consider this a hidden gem? Yes. Not for everyone. This is definitely not going to be for everyone. But it has a sports element to it, and it has a very ecchi element to it, which they combine. And I sincerely believe that a lot of people are going to love this. I liked it too. I thought sometimes it was like really over the top that it just made me laugh, which is also fun. But basically, we follow a girl called Nozomi, and she wants to join a sport that is called, what was it called again? It's been a long time since I watched. Is it just called Ketcho? Yes, it's just called Ketcho. And basically, it's a sport where women, in this case, have to push each other from a platform, which is on the water, with anything but their hands. As you can imagine, this lends itself very well towards the whole ecchi genre, of course. It's one of the main genres of this show. It is very over the top, it is very ecchi, but if you like that, or you can at least look past that, the sports element is actually really good. You would not actually expect that, but it's good. It's really good. Basically, it's focused solely around this made-up sport called Ketcho, meaning that there's a lot of suspense. You never know who's gonna win. Also, the cast of characters are really fun and really good. Some of them are tropey, but that's expected from an ecchi anime. But the main character is great. The other characters are great. If you like sports anime and if you like ecchi stuff, you cannot go wrong with this one. That is why I would consider this a hidden gem. I really like this one. It's definitely not the best I've ever seen in the world. No, it's not. This is not going to be your most favorite anime of all time, and that's okay. It doesn't have to be. This is going to be fun though. Hell yeah. The anime is finished and I believe completely translated in English. So you you can look at that banner. Anyway, so you can definitely, whether you want to read it or watch it, you're good. Then we have Hitoribochi no Marumaru Seikatsu. And I feel like I should include this one because a lot of people are really enjoying Bocchi the Rock. A lot of people seem to love this anime. Me too. I like it a lot. I watched all of the episodes. It says 7 here. That's incorrect. I watched all of them. And a lot of people loved Bocchi the Rock. If you like Bocchi the Rock, you're going to love Hitoribochi no Marumaru Seikatsu. Because we follow a girl called Hitoribochi, or Bocchi Hitori, like in Japanese you always say the last name first, so Hitoribochi, and she has trouble making friends. There is another anime that has that same premise called Hitorigoto, and her name is also a pun because Hitorigoto kind of means to be alone in Japanese. Wow. Anyway, so we have her, and she struggles making friends. Eventually, she meets a girl called Nako-chan, and they become friends, and she introduces her to other people, and oh wow, they now have a good time together. Doesn't that sound familiar? There's another anime called Bocchi the Rock that's doing the exact same thing. That's why I say, if you like Bocchi the Rock, you're going to like Hitori Bocchi no Marumaru Seikatsu. 12 episodes. The manga's finished, I believe fully translated in English too. Go for it. It's so much fun, really. If you like Bocchi the Rock. If you didn't like Bocchi the Rock because you thought it was too sweet, Hitori Bocchi no Marumaru Seikatsu is even sweeter, so you're not going to like that. Demi-chan wa Kataritai is another one that I believe is a hidden gem. I don't understand why more people have not watched this. Basically, we follow a teacher called Tetsuo, and Tetsuo is going to... he is a biology teacher, and he gets a couple of new girls at his... new students, girls, at his school. And because he's a biology teacher, he actually has to help them. And you might think, wait, well, why? Why? Because he's a biology teacher. Well, recently, new... types of people are being born. It's a new phenomenon, and they are basically new types of people. They are people, but they're just a little different. For example, we have vampire people now. For example, Hikari is one of those vampire people, so she has to survive on blood. We have ice people or snow people. For example, Yuki, which is kind of it's funny that she's called Yuki because it means snow in Japanese, and she is a snow woman, meaning that she's always cold and she needs to be cold as well. Or we even have, what is it called again? I forget. Dullahan. So people whose head are detached from their bodies, and he because he's a biology teacher and knows a lot about biology in and of itself, he now needs to help these girls have a normal school life, right? Also, one of his new colleagues, he also needs to help her out, is a succubus, meaning that if you touch her as a man, you are basically now attached to her. It's very funny. Anyway, so a very funny, very cool anime that I don't really see a lot of people watching. It's quite a shame. The manga is actually, I saw this manga being promoted everywhere in Japan when I recently went there. So in Japan, this is popular, but apparently not in the West, which is a shame because you should definitely take a look at Demi-chan wa Kataritai. Then we have Kakashigo. Kakashigoto literally means to hide one's job, and that is the basic premise of this story, because we follow a father and a daughter. The father is called Kakashigoto, which in and of itself is a normal name, but it's a pun, because Kakashigoto literally means to hide your job. His name is Kakashigoto. It's a pun. And basically he writes ecchi manga. He creates ecchi manga. And he doesn't want his daughter to find out. Because his daughter is still young, right? The moment that they, she's 10 years old, 11 years old. So, he doesn't really want to have her find out that he creates those types of manga. And there's a lot of comedy involved in him hiding his job for his daughter, of course. He goes through a lot of, the lengths that he goes through to hide his job are insane. That's what makes this anime so funny. But besides it being very funny, it's also an anime about a father and his daughter. The mother is nowhere to be found because, unfortunately, Hime's mother, and therefore Kakashigoto's wife, passed away. So he has to basically raise his daughter himself, and it's actually quite a beautiful story too. There's a lot of dramatic and emotional moments within this anime as well, which you would not expect from a anime, but there are, really. It's a beautiful anime, besides being incredibly funny too. Then we have Shoujo Shumatsu Ryoko. And this is one that I was kind of iffy if I should have put this on this list because I love this one a lot. I just wasn't sure if a lot of other people, if this would appeal to a lot of people. Then I was like, you know what? No, this is one that I think is special. This should be on the list. Basically, we follow two girls, Chito and Yuri, and they travel through a world that basically is no more. Of course, we have these two girls, but the world is basically done. Everyone is gone because of war, and they are survivors, Chito and Yuri, but that's about it. They never meet anyone else. It's very eerie. On the one hand, it's a very cute story because these two girls, of course, they are girls, right? They're young girls, so they are carefree and they try to have fun, but they travel through a world that is completely desolate. There's nothing, snow and a lost civilization. Yeah, like there's tanks everywhere, there's guns everywhere, but there's no people anymore. Everyone and everything is gone. And they travel through this world to find food because, of course, their rations are running out. They need to do something. And on the one hand, it's a very fun and relaxing story. On the other, it's a very eerie story. Very interesting. It's hard to describe. You need to see that for yourself. But it's one that you should watch, in my opinion. It's worth it. It really is worth it. And then the final one in my last video, which was about the top 10 cutest anime of all time, which I'll link to that in the pinned comment. I'll link to that one. I'll also link it at the top right of the screen right now. I actually already talked about this one, but I felt like most likely not everyone has seen that video, and I feel like this is a hidden gem. It really is, so I felt like I should at least include this one in this list. It's called Gakkou Gurashi, or in English, School Life. And we follow these girls who created the school living club, or school life club or something. Basically, these girls, the main one being Yuki, and that we have way more girls at this school. They are always at school. They never go home. It's very cutesy at first, but there's something off. Something is off. There's something weird about this whole thing. I won't spoil what, but I will say that this is a horror anime. It's on the one hand, it's slice of life and cute. On the other hand, it's a horror anime. Is that weird? Is that a weird combination? Yes. Does it work well though? Hell yeah. It works so well. But there's something off. Something very off. And there's a lot of horror and a lot of violence in this anime as well. Not towards these girls. How should I put it? These girls will never fight towards themselves, but there's something lurking in the dark that is not good. If you're not good with horror, don't watch this one. But if you are, or if you at least can tolerate it, this is so good, so freaking good. And also the manga is finished, so if you pick up the manga afterwards, you can read a completed story, which is awesome. Anyway, these are the 10. Do me a favor before you go, like this video, and if you have not done so yet, subscribe. Especially liking the video helps a ton. The algorithm basically picks up new videos from new content creators like me way faster. If you like the video, it just helps our content creators a lot. And subscribing, of course, helps you out because you get recommended my videos if you click on the notification bell, which you, in my opinion, you should do. Also, if you haven't done so yet, I have a Japanese channel. I speak English on that channel. It's just that it's a channel all about Japan. It's called Konnichiwa. I'll leave a link to that as well. Subscribe to that. At least check it out. And if you like those videos, subscribe to that channel as well. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I was Razovy, and you were you, and I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.